One of the great things about the MEDDIC framework is that it inherently helps you sell higher in the account. If you have access to the economic buyer, if you're working well with the champion, you're part of the decision criteria and process, all these things move you up the food chain. And when you get that 15 minutes of fame with the executive, there's some things you need to think about to make that meeting the most effective and efficient. First of all, understand that all executives are ADHD. Okay, now that's lovingly said, but it's true. They have to be to get their job done. They're pulled in so many different directions, got so many balls in the air, and it's squirrel, right? They're just, you never know where they're going to be. So when you get that meeting, you want to make sure that you grab them by the proverbial nose ring and pull them front and center, eyes on me type approach. And here are 4 things that you can do to help make sure that happens. Number 1, it's all about them. It's not about you or Proofpoint or your products or the research or your team. You got Bobby and Susie and Joe and all these people with you. It's all about them. Everything that you talk about, you need to consistently bring back to show how it helps them solve their problems, their challenges, the pain, how it makes them look good, all these things. Keep bringing it back to them. Number 2 is begin with the end. Begin your meeting with the end. Now, Stephen Covey made $1 zillion with the 7 habits of highly effective people. And one of those 7 habits is begin with the end in mind. Now, that's great counsel for life, but it really, really applies here. When you've done all that research and you pull your team together with your champion and everything, there's a tendency for you to do what I call the dance at the beginning of meetings. Hi, we're here. I'm Dale. This is Bobby. This is Sue. This is Joe. And we've got all this great stuff for you. And you're never going to believe it. It's so wonderful. And blah, 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 blah. We're so great. You want to avoid that temptation. With the executives, you want to begin with the end. You want to determine right up front that you're on the same wavelength about why you're having a meeting. The reason that we're here today is to blank. And I've had success by just asking for money. I said, the reason we're here is to ask you for X number of dollars. Now that gets their attention. That's not applicable for all meetings, but the point is you want to grab their attention and get their consensus of why you're sitting there talking, because that's going to help them avoid looking for squirrels, right? This is why we're here. Yes, I agree. That's why we're here. That's why we have the meeting. Excellent. Now you can do the dance. You can pull out the VAP report and the executive security brief and all those different things that you're planning on presenting. That leads us to number 3. Validate, validate, validate. Once you've established the reason for the meeting, you want to continually come back to the fact that the things that you're presenting are in line with where your executive's brain is at. And it's easy to do. Little why statements. The reason I tell you that is, wouldn't you agree that that would help you solve for X? Or John said that one of your biggest concerns is this. Can you see how this is going to help alleviate that concern? Those types of things. So that as you're going along, you're bringing them back over and over to agreeing, getting that head nodding, that you're on the right track. Okay? Very, very important. Number 4 is that you have to be ready to go in whatever direction they want to go in. And some good things can happen when you get these things lined up and you're doing validation, because what has happened to me, and I'm sure you've maybe have experienced, is, wouldn't you agree that that's going to help that solve that problem? And they may respond and say, yeah, I was thinking about this other thing. You've prompted some good thoughts and some tangential discussion that relates to what you're trying to propose. And you need to be ready to go when they want to go in that direction. I've asked them a question. They say, no, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about this other thing. And you've got to be ready to go in their direction. So those are those 4 things, right? It's all about them. You want to begin with the end, consistently validate, and be ready to go in whatever direction they want, because you're in that important meeting that's going to help that individual make crucial decisions about moving their company forward.